There's a lot of background here, so I'll try and keep it to what's relevant. Married 10 years, dated 3 before that, we have 2 kids. Her parents are divorced. Her mom comes from a wealthy family, and when her parents got married, her family did a lot of legal and financial stuff and prenups and stuff to keep the money safe. Growing up, her mom was busy a lot and was the primary breadwinner. Her dad really was the one who raised her. He was the one who took her and picked her up from school, who helped her with her homework and went to her shows, plays, games, etc. When she was 12, it turned out her mom had been having an affair, and it led to her parents divorcing. This is where her mom's family's money comes in. They were able to afford very good lawyers, and her money had already been locked up tight, so she wound up with custody, and he left the marriage with not very much to his name, and since he had spent so much time raising her, he had neglected his own career. He struggled after that. My wife has a fraught relationship with her mother. She never really forgave her mother for the affair, the divorce, and her destroying his life. Once she was a teenager, she chose to move in with her dad. So that's a bit of background. She remained close to her dad to this day. He's been an active part of our lives, and he spends a lot of time with our kids, who both love him, but he's been struggling. COVID was really hard for him because he really couldn't work. He fell behind on his bills, and he's been struggling to catch up ever since. He's now about to be evicted. My wife wants him to move in with us. She says it's absolutely unacceptable to her for him to be homeless when we have a basement. We can move him in too. Thing is, the basement is my space. It's set up to be my retreat, and she now wants to turn it into a bedroom for him. We've been arguing about this because she says she won't allow him to be homeless, and my point is he won't be homeless. He has a place he can go with his sister, but she lives on the other side of the country. My wife hates that idea. She says she wants him to be a part of her and our kids' lives and not on the other side of the country. He's not a bad guy. I don't hate him or anything. I just want some space for our family. My wife's position is that he is family, and he can help with the kids. She's accusing me of caring more about my man cave than the well-being of her father. That's an exaggeration. He isn't going to be homeless. He can move in with his sister. This argument is starting to become pretty ugly now, and she's threatening to take the kids and move out to find a place with him, if I won't agree to let him move in here. I resent that threat. I'm starting to wonder if this is really a hill I should die on. On the other hand, I'm shocked and angry that my wife seems ready to throw away our whole marriage over this. Update. I'm going to talk to my wife about getting him an in-law suite in our yard that he can stay in permanently, and give up the basement until we can build it. The comments have helped me play out how the most likely scenarios would go, just so everyone knows whose side you're all taking here. She's a spoiled, rotten princess who grew up with a silver spoon in her mouth. Everything she has was given to her. Between my salary and the trust fund her grandparents left her, she doesn't need to work. But she does anyways and complains she needs her dad's help with the kids. I'm a surgeon, and she's an interior designer. Which one of us contributes more to humanity? She's a shallow, vapid woman who decorates houses while I'm saving lives. Relevant comments. Angel 4077, you are ready to throw away your marriage to protect your man cave. She is protecting her father. Maybe you have a sister in a different state you could live with instead if it's no big deal. Not trying to make waves, I just want some space for my family. This is a lie. You want the space from your family. You described it as a retreat. She's not endangering your marriage, you are. But you're trying to spin this story to make it look like she's being unreasonable when you're simply upset to be losing your man cave. Let him stay. Build a shed. Complex murky. I mean, it looks like your wife decided it's her hill to die on, so is it yours? But from my perspective, I have to be honest, I think you're being a dick. You're shocked and angry that your wife would die on this hill to move her dad in, who really was the parent who raised her, because the only other option is him moving across the country. But you're dying on the hill of having a man cave. Really makes you look selfish from my perspective. Elena likes vodka. Are you for real? Your position would be easier to understand if you had no room, but you do. Let me ask you something. Does your wife have a space in your home that is exclusively hers, that she can retreat to in order to rest or practice her hobbies? If the answer is no, why doesn't she? Why are you the only one who gets the luxury of having such a space? Why is your man cave, let's be honest, that's what it is, more important than housing the man who raised your wife? Why do you get to monopolize a whole basement that is solely for your benefit? This is a hill worth dying on for her. Maybe this is the first step toward realizing she's married to a very selfish man. Op replied, does your wife have a space in your home that is exclusively hers, that she can retreat to in order to rest or practice her hobbies? If the answer is no, why doesn't she? No, because my wife doesn't work on call in a high-pressure job as a surgeon like I do. She doesn't need a space to unwind after she loses a patient like I do. Now, the wife also had a Reddit account and posted her side of the story. Here is what the wife has to say. My husband is too busy and too important to care about our children, and I'm sick of it. My husband is a surgeon, and according to him, he's the most important person in the world. A god among men who casually determines life or death and is far, far too important to be bothered by the trivial concerns of us mere peons. Concerns like maybe you should spend some time with your fucking kids. But oh no. You see, he works so hard and has so much pressure that when he's home he has to be sequestered from the annoying sounds of our girls playing, or being happy to see him. My dad has picked up the slack. He's been the one that's changed their diapers. I drop them off at school and go to work. Dad picks them up and stays with them till I get home. My dad was the one who taught them to ride a bike. My dad is the one who shows up to the plays and dance recitals. He's the one that helps with the homework. My dad is the one who dresses as Santa. My dad is the one who does the Easter egg hunts and the tea parties. My husband is far too important for any of that. And despite the fact that my husband has absolutely no interest in our kids, he is still pissed that the kids are closer to my dad than him. So my dad is now struggling financially. We have the means to help him. But my husband doesn't want to. He'd rather see my dad move to the other side of the country and removed from our kids' lives. I put my foot down and he goes onto Reddit to whine about it. Well, now I'm here too, dear. You want to whine about our marriage on Reddit? I can do it too. Update. Wow, this all blew up. I was so angry when I posted this, now I'm just drained. He came by yesterday to pick up some things and we argued. The girls were out with my dad because I knew this would be a fight and I didn't want them around for this. He said awful things. Just awful. About me, my dad, and the girls. After he left, I talked to my mom. We have a difficult relationship, but if there's one person I want in my corner going into the divorce, it's her. The divorce is happening. I saw an attorney my mom recommended today. I'm really glad I went through with that prenup my mom wanted when we got married now. At this point, I won't speak to my husband. My lawyer is doing my talking for me. I'm exhausted. Thank you everyone for all the support. It helped to read the comments and know people supported me. He made me feel so small and stupid yesterday, and he said awful things about our girls. I'm not mad anymore. I'm just heartbroken. Our girls deserve better than this. I really wanted better for them. I just wanted to have a family and a nice home. Now I'm just going through a divorce like my parents. I never wanted this. I tried so hard to keep this all together so we didn't wind up here. But I failed. Op's wife made a comment on the husband's original post, but was deleted. Wife's comment preserved. The wife, I'm done. This isn't about the man cave or the space, and you know it. We have the money to help my dad. We have a 7-bedroom fucking house with a pool house and a movie theater. This isn't about space or money. This is about you being petty and jealous that the girls are closer to my dad than you. Get this through your thick fucking head. That's your fault. For 9 years, everything else in your life has been more important than the girls. You work 70 hours a week, and when you're not at work, you go golfing with the people you work with, or you're at a medical conference with the people you work with, or you're dragging me to some fundraiser with the people you work with. When you are at home, you need to sequester yourself because the sound of my children playing annoys you. You seem to conveniently forget that they're your children too. You only seem to remember that part when I want to move my father in to help me with our girls. It's amazing how you can be so smart and so fucking stupid at the same time. You're upset the girls love dad more than you. And you're such a petty and small man that your solution is to ship him off out of their lives and break our girls' hearts. But you don't plan to actually be a part of their lives. You just want my dad gone. I won't fucking let you take him out of their lives. The family is me, the girls, and my father. Your family are the people you work with, and you're married to your job, not me. Well, you can have it. Don't come home. Stay at the hospital or go to your hoary house. Yeah, I know about her. I don't fucking care anymore. I'm done. I'm done trying to make this marriage work. I'm done begging you to be a father. The girls won't miss you anyways. You've never shown an interest in their lives, and I am done letting you hurt and neglect my children. They deserve someone in their lives that loves and cares for them and shows interest in them. You don't. You want to drag this out onto Reddit, then fine. Let's do this on Reddit. I'm divorcing you. We're done. Go save the world, you're free. Either way, you're worse than your parents. They may have been weird and misguided, but they were a part of your life. And now he wants to talk about this in private to everyone. Now he has a problem with this being on Reddit. You're the one who brought it here, honey. Deal with the bed you made. Relevant comments from the wife. On the if it was about the man cave. It had nothing to do with the space. He was pissed off that the girls are closer to my dad than him. And he's such a petty, small, insecure man that he would rather break our girls' hearts and take my dad from their lives than do anything. We have the space and the money. We have a fucking pool house we will be moving my dad into. He's not even really going to lose his man cave. This was never about his man cave, and there's no coming back from this. He'd rather break our girls' hearts than be a part of their lives. He was complaining to me the other day that if my father was here, then he would be playing with the girls when he was home, and the sound would annoy him. I just can't explain the rage I feel when I think about my husband, the father of my children, being annoyed at the sound of his girls being happy. On what our marriage is like. I'm not a stay-at-home parent. I also have a job. I'm also the only parent in this marriage. Everyone acts like I'm not working full-time too. But I still manage to make time for the kids. I got the kids up and dressed for school. My dad picks them up and stays with them until I get home. Kids get out at 3 and I'm home by 6. My dad is there to pick the kids up and stays till I get home. Husband has no part in this. His concern about the children preferring their grandparents over him indicates a genuine desire to connect with his kids. I've heard this before, but nothing ever changes. He complains and then tells me he has to go out of state to some medical conference and we'll talk about it later, and we never do. He just text messaged me now. I have surgery, we'll talk about this tonight. Yay, he always has surgery when we need to talk about this. It's like clockwork. It never fails on the future of her marriage. The mods lock that comment, not sure why, and yes, we are headed to divorce. I'll be sending the papers to the fucking hospital and dad's moving in, he's moving out. We'll figure out the house and the divorce. I probably shouldn't say anything else at this point until I talk to an attorney. New updates. What am I supposed to tell my girls, 10 and 7, about their father? 2 months later. Posted by the wife. My ex-husband was never a very present father. He's a surgeon and spends most of his time either working or doing something with his coworkers. He was rarely ever home, and when he was, he mostly wanted to be left alone to hang out by himself in his man cave. He didn't like the girls being loud or playful because it disturbed him. Our daughters have always walked on eggshells around them, and he's never taken much of an interest in their lives, so we just finalized our divorce. We couldn't wait to get out of the marriage. He wanted to be done with this marriage and our kids so he could take a new job in another state and live with his affair partner. I asked for full custody, and he was relieved. He didn't want custody. He didn't fight at all for them. He hasn't even seen them since the day he moved out 2 months ago. He's gone now in another state, and my oldest had her 10th birthday about 2 weeks ago. I threw a really huge party for her. I made it a really big deal, and he promised her he would be there. He never showed. We get a card with a lame apology and a gift card from him a day after her birthday. I felt so bad for her, and what makes it worse is, she wasn't even upset. I asked her how she felt about it, and she shrugged. She said she wasn't surprised, and that dad didn't really love them. What the hell do I say to that? I'm at a loss for words because I don't believe he loves them either. Do I lie to them? Tell them of course he does, he's just busy. What do I tell her? The truth? No, he doesn't really love you. I have no idea what to say to my girls. Should I even bring it up? Just not talk about it at all? Just leave the fact that their dad doesn't give a shit and has pretty much abandoned them? Just carry on as usual, because let's be honest, he hasn't been a part of our lives for a long, long time. He never really was. Not that much has changed for the girls besides the fact that they don't need to walk on eggshells for the 1 or 2 days a month he was even at home. I just don't know. Both the girls are in therapy now. We all are. Maybe this is something I should bring up there. Loop date, my husband is too busy and too important to care about our children, and I'm sick of it. 2 months later. Hi everyone, I'm back. My husband is now my ex-husband. Our state, you only need 30 days between filing and judgment. We both agreed divorce was best. He moved out New Year's Day and has never been back. My original post sort of went viral. It was reshared on TikTok and on Facebook, and our family and friends wound up seeing it. My lawyer recommended I stop posting about the divorce until it was finalized. Well, the divorce is now done. After he moved out, we both retained our lawyers and most of the divorce was handled through them. We didn't speak much until we went into final arbitration and signed the agreements to bring to the judge. About a week after I retained my attorney, I had my attorney, his attorney, and some movers meet at my house to inventory everything that belonged to him, including in his man cave, pack it up and ship it out to a storage unit his lawyer arranged. I didn't want to give him any reason to come after me for anything. I know people wanted me to nail him to the wall, but I really didn't want a long and bitter divorce. He wanted to go, I wanted him gone, and we both wanted it to happen as soon as possible. Turns out he was offered a job in another state, and he wanted to take it and was itching to get out of here. We both had prenups that made the division of assets pretty painless, and he had no problem with giving me full custody and paying child support. I didn't need or ask for spousal support. Honestly, how little he fought for our girls was the part that hurt me the most. The biggest disagreement we had was with the house. My mom stepped up to buy him out of the mortgage payments he put down so that me, the girls, and my dad wouldn't have to move. He really wanted this done as fast as he could so he could ride off into the sunset with his affair partner and take his new job. And that's exactly what he did. He got the ending he wanted. Free of me and the kids and free to be the world's best surgeon or whatever. Mom and Dad both came through for me in big, big ways. Mom is a lawyer herself, and she had set up the house and my other assets to be protected. She also was the one to get me my lawyer. Dad moved into the pool house, and that's where he's going to stay. My dad is going to enjoy his golden years being pop to our girls and dad to me. I'll make sure he won't have to worry about anything. My daughter's 10th birthday was 2 weeks ago. My husband promised her he would fly out for it. I made this party a really big deal. I hired performers, rented a bouncy castle, had all her classmates over, most of my family was there. My mom and dad were able to be in the same place and not fight. We had a really great time, and he never showed up. She got a card from him the day after her party with a lame apology and a $500 gift card. I asked her if she was okay, and she shrugged. She had a great time at her party and didn't expect her dad to show. She knows he doesn't love her. That's what she told me. She wasn't really upset about it either. She's 10 years old and already expects him to disappoint her. It breaks my heart. But she's a trooper, and she didn't let it stop her from enjoying her day. I realized that for years, I've been trying to make a home for him to come home to. But he's had one foot out the door, and I've been holding his hand trying to keep him from going. I finally let go. I'm doing better than I thought I would, to be honest. And the girls are too. I don't really miss him. The girls don't really miss him. I'm not even angry about the affair. She can have him. I'm just disappointed. If you've made it to this point, you're a beast.